Hi, welcome to this video session on how to read your birth chart inside our Astrology 101 course content. I am Angie. I am your reflector, your wise sage, your intuitive astrologist. I am the mirror to your highest potential so that you can make the impact you came here to make in this world. I am the founder and community leader of SAS, and I am glad that you are here today to learn more about how to dive into your birth chart. All right, first of all, let's cover the basics. What exactly is a birth chart? Well, it's just a snapshot of the sky at the moment of your birth. Why is it important? It is a blueprint of your unique life that includes your strengths, your challenges, and your purpose on this earth, this go round in this lifetime. What are we going to cover today? Very basic chart components and how to interpret them. All right, so this is what a birth chart looks like. This happens to be my birth chart, and we are going to dive into the specifics of it a little bit later in the video. But this is what a standard birth chart looks like. It looks like a wheel. And on the very outside of the wheel, you see the symbols that represent the astrological signs. All right, over here we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. On the inside of the wheel, you see numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, and they go all the way around to 12. The numbers represent the houses. In between the sign and the house is where your actual placements sit. So this is where we see all of these symbols that represent our placements, our sun, our moon, our Mercury, our Venus, all of that stuff sit in this in-between space. Okay, so you can see right here, this is Sagittarius. See the sign on the outside. The number on the inside is the first house. So all of these Sagittarius placements I have are inside my first house. All right, and we're going to talk about what these placements are, what these symbols mean as we go on. One thing that's important to note is I use what's called the whole sign system. All right, so what that means is that each sign is associated with one house. See, Sagittarius goes with the first house here on my chart. Scorpio goes with the 12th house. Libra goes with the 11th house. It's all even, one house per one sign. When a chart gets pulled, usually the default house system is something called Placidus. And that does not always give us an even house per sign result. And so when you're first learning, it's really important, I think, to use a whole sign system because it's a much more organized and easy to understand. One house per one sign instead of splitting it up. And in the Placidus system, a lot of times you're going to have a sign that's divided between two houses. So as we are learning, that's very complicated, and I don't do that. I stick with a whole sign system. If you have anybody else pull your chart, ask them if they are using whole sign or Placidus, and I recommend that you tell them that you prefer whole sign. All right, that's a little more complicated, but it is important. Okay, so the planet or placement. Now, I use the term placement more than I use planet because a lot of our placements are not actually planets. For example, the sun and the moon, they are not planets, they are luminaries. Our ascendant is not a planet or a luminary, it's just a point in the sky. So I like to use the word placement. But the planet plus the sign plus the house that it's in equals a unique energy mix that makes up you. And we are going to talk about how all of this works. All right, so first the 12 houses. The 12 houses are associated with specific areas of our life. and each house has a theme. Now, this is just a very basic breakdown of these house themes. They do include a little bit more than what I've listed here, but this is just basic, okay? First house, self, identity, and appearance. Second house, money and values. Third house, communication, early education, and local community. Fourth house, home and family. Fifth house, hobbies, fun, romance, and children. Sixth house, daily routines, health and wellness. Seventh house, long-term relationships. Eighth house, transformation, death and rebirth, investments. Ninth house, higher learning, travel, and philosophy. 10th house, career. 11th house, community and friendships. 12th house, spirituality, the unseen, and the subconscious mind. Again, this is just a very basic breakdown. All right, then we have the signs. You can consider the signs as personality filters. So each sign has a unique personality that gives flavor to the house and the placements that are within that. All right, so the signs are broken down into a couple of different ways. Instead of just going through all of them one by one, I want to speak to you about how they're broken down because you will frequently hear them referred to in this way. The first way is by their modality, which means how they behave. All right, so you might hear of cardinal signs, fixed signs, and mutable signs. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, and these are initiators and leaders. Fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and these are determined stabilizers. The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and these are very adaptable and flexible signs. Now, you also will hear them commonly referred to by their element or their natural vibes. So the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and they are very passionate and action-driven. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and they are very grounded and practical. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and they are very mental and communicative. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and they're very emotional and intuitive. And so you can also see how, we could put them together. For example, Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. So an adaptable, flexible, passionate, action-oriented sign. Or Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. So an initiator, a leader that is grounded and practical. All right, you see how this all goes together? Okay, so the signs are the personality filters that get applied to the house and the placements within. All right, now the planets and placements. So each placement represents a different kind of energy. All right, and as I said earlier, the placement plus the sign plus the house equals a very unique energy mix. All right, so we're going to go through some of the basics here. First of all, your rising sign is also known as your ascendant. So you will hear those two terms used interchangeably, but no, they are the same. Your rising sign and your ascendant are the same. All right, this is how others see you. This is first impressions. And all house placements are based on your rising sign because your rising sign, your ascendant, is your first house. All right, so everything else house-wise is based off of that, which is why it's such an important piece of information. A lot of times people will say, they'll listen to horoscopes or something and say, well, I don't identify with my sun sign, or, I always read the horoscope for my sun sign and it doesn't make sense to me. That's because horoscopes are not written for your sun sign. They are written for your rising sign. So start paying attention to astrology and horoscopes and whatever you're following. Start paying attention to it for your rising sign, and you might find that it actually resonates quite a bit for you. All right. So your sun is your identity, your ego. Your moon is your emotions and your intuition. Mars is your action and your drive. It's your masculine energy. Venus is all about love, relationships, finances, money. It's what you value, and it is your feminine energy. Mercury rules your thoughts and your communication. Jupiter is all about luck, abundance, and expansion. Saturn is hard lessons and discipline. The North Node is the direction that our life is meant to go. The South Node is what we mastered in our past life. So it's an energy we feel very comfortable in, but we are meant to move away from in this life. Now, there are a couple of other planets, of course. There's the outer planets, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, but I do not include those for the most part in this because this is just a very learning the basics. All right, so we focus on the planets and placements that affect us on a daily, weekly, monthly time period, and not so much the outer planets that are affecting more on a generational basis or on a multiple year basis. All right, so these are the symbols that go with these placements. So we're going to look back at my birth chart in a minute, and we're going to identify where these symbols are. Okay, so this is the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, the North Node, and the South Node. Now, you will get to learn these in time. I know looking at them, initially you may think, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to remember what these are? You will eventually, as time goes on, one piece at a time, the more you dive into this, the more it will become second nature. So don't feel pressured like you have to have it all down and memorize today. Okay, so we're going to look back at my chart. Okay, now the first thing we're going to notice is that I have a lot of Sagittarius placements here. Okay, this is called a stellium. A stellium is when you have at least 3 placements in one sign or one house. Okay, 3 or more. And I actually have 6 Sagittarius placements here. I have my sun. I have Mercury, North Node. This right here is Neptune. This right here is Venus. And then this line, see this dark black line right here that says ASC? That is my ascendant or my rising. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a lot of first house Sagittarius energy happening right here. All right, then I have a smaller stellium in my Libra ruled house. So if we come over here back to Libra, you see I have my moon, I have Pluto, and then I have something right here. This line right here is called the MC, or the midheaven. Now, typically the midheaven is in your 10th house because it goes along with your career and your vocation and where you really shine out in the world. But it can be in your 9th house or your 11th house, and mine happens to be in my 11th house. All right, so I have 3 placements here in Libra, which is considered a small stellium. If we look, let's see, Jupiter is my ruling planet because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and our ruling planet is based on our ascendant, our rising. So my Sagittarius rising is ruled by Jupiter, and all of these Sagittarius placements I have also have to answer to Jupiter. And where are we going to find Jupiter in my chart? Over here in my fourth house, Pisces. This is Jupiter. See, this is Pisces, fourth house, and there's Jupiter right there. All right, then we're going to find Saturn, pesky Saturn. He causes us a lot of hard lessons in life. Where is Saturn? Saturn is over here, right here, in my eighth house. See, there's the number 8 on the inside. All right, this is the symbol for Cancer on the outside, and here Saturn sits. All right, so my Saturn is in my 8th house of Cancer. All right, now let me give you a quick breakdown of some things that I understand about my chart, but if I was reading this for somebody else, some things that I would say right off the bat. All right, so this person has a whole lot of first house energy. Their life is intended to be very much about their identity, their self, who they are. Okay. This is a very, I mean, one might say there is a lot of actual selfish energy here in this chart. All right. But here's another thing to look at. The North Node is here. All right, so with the North Node here, this is the direction that you are meant to go in your life, but it is not necessarily a comfortable place for you to be because your South Node is where you came into this life with the most experience. It is where you feel comfortable. All right, so the South Node here is in the 7th house of long-term relationships, in the Gemini 7th house of long-term relationships, which means that all of this first house energy is not necessarily a comfortable place to be. Okay, it takes time to grow into this. It takes a lifetime to move across the chart from your South Node to your North Node. All right, so a couple of other things that I can observe here is that I want to look at Jupiter. I want to look at where the ruling planet is for all of these Sagittarius placements. Okay, Jupiter is in the 4th house of home and family. So all of these Sagittarius placements in the 1st house of self have to come back to answer to Jupiter in the 4th house of home and family. There is a lot of luck and abundance that can come with this placement, but it takes time. Also notice that this is in Pisces. Pisces is a very intuitive, very spiritual, very emotional sign. Okay, so there is much expansion that can come from tapping into the intuition and the spiritual realm here. Also, Saturn is huge here because Saturn, the planet of hard lessons and structure and discipline, is in the 8th house. Okay, this is a hard place for Saturn to be. 8th house is transformation, death, and rebirth. There's a lot of hard lessons on repeat with transformations, death, and rebirth. Also, in the sign of Cancer, Cancer traditionally represents the 4th house of home and family. So there is a lot of home and family energy in this as well. So you see, this person, being me, came into this life with a lot of comfort feelings inside long-term relationships. Okay, this is where the comfort zone is. The comfort zone is with other people. The comfort zone is not with the self. There are also hard lessons to be learned in the Cancer energy of home and family, and with all of the death and rebirth and transformations. Okay? All of these Sagittarius placements have to answer to Jupiter in the fourth house of home and family. So are you understanding now a little bit? Maybe I'm making a little bit of sense on why it looks like this person is just all about me, myself, and I. Okay, but that is actually really hard to tap into and takes a lot of life experience and work and transformation to get there because of where the South Node is, because of where the Saturn is, because of where the ruling planet is. Okay. Oh, another thing to note is Chiron. Chiron here, Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. But this is our greatest wound, becomes our greatest gift. This is in Aries. Aries is the sign of the self that traditionally represents the first house. So the greatest wound in my chart is in the sign of the self. So all of this self-driven energy is hard to tap into. Okay. I hope I didn't lose you guys on that because I know I kind of went deep into it. But what I wanted you to understand is that this is a very layered thing that takes a lot of time and energy to understand and to contemplate and to actually live out. This is not something that, oh, we're born, here's our birth chart, and we're automatically living it out. No, no, it takes a lifetime to live it out. It takes a lot of intentional shadow work to live it out. It takes so much knowledge and time and effort, but that's what we're here to do together. Okay. We are here to do this together. So I hope I didn't lose you in going into all of the details on my chart. But the big things I want you to remember when you're looking at the chart, okay, the outside, these are the signs, okay, the inside wheel are the houses, and all of your planets and placements are in between. Do not worry about the numbers that you see here. These are the degrees, and we don't need to worry about that yet. Do not worry about the lines that you see in the middle. These have to do with squares and oppositions and trines and stuff, and we're not worrying about any of that. We are just trying to master the sign, the house, and the placement that's in there. Okay, and remember the combination of the three makes the very unique energy recipe. Okay? All right. So, in conclusion, it's very deep and layered. You get that now. Your chart is highly unique. It makes up your personal astrological blueprint, and learning it can take a lifetime. Take it slow, one piece at a time. Observe how this plays out for you in real life. I always say that astrology makes the most sense from the rear view mirror. Meaning, if you look back at certain things in your life, if you look back at time periods, if you look back at how things went for you over certain transits, you can really see how it played out. So examine your placements one at a time and look back at your life and see how it's played out thus far. Especially look at your South Node, because this is the energy that you came into this life having mastered, and this is your comfort zone. All right, so see how you feel about that. See if you feel that that's accurate for you, that this is a comfort zone for you. But also understand when you're looking at your South Node, you're meant to move away from it in this lifetime and towards towards your North Node. All right, always ask and share. If you need clarification or extra guidance, please ask. It's what I'm here for. And share inside SAS, the insights that you're learning about yourself, because we're all learning from each other too. And there's that chat space for astrology, the astrology chat. So any questions that you have, you can put them in there. Anything that you want to share about what you're observing about yourself with these placements, you can share in that space as well. All right, so if you are not a SAS member and you are watching this video, please join SAS. We'd love to have you. It's a beautiful community of women in leadership who are supporting each other on this adventure to use our astrological blueprint as a real tool, leadership tool to level up and towards more success. If you are in SAS, please invite others to join. We would love to have other people join us. Know that birth chart readings are available. If you want me to look at your birth chart and tell you all of the spectacular things that I see about you in your chart, I do have birth chart readings available, and you can book that with me. My contacts, my Instagram is Angela Dawn Reflections. My email is Angie@AngelaDawnReflections.com, and my website is AngelaDawnReflections.com. So again, thank you so much for watching this today, and start diving into your chart, and send me any questions that you have and share your insights inside the membership. I am excited for you to dive into your own astrological blueprint. All right, guys, until next time, thank you, and we'll see you later.